Welcome back, WNST Towson, Baltimore, and WNST.net, all the way to Carroll County and Greenmount Station tonight. Give it up, Hempstead. We got my man Steve Smith out tonight. I got the World Series to my right. I got the Wizards and the Heat to the middle. I got the Caps and the Red Wings to the left. I got Steve Smith making fun of me. It's time to talk football. Not yet. I don't want to. We had a magician here tonight that came up. Tim Hall is here. Comedy, magician, mind reader. Tell me what my wife's thinking, Tim, please. I need to know. And speaker. He came up and wowed you with his that floss thing he did. What was that? That was crazy.
Yeah, I was a little bit past my my hygiene.
But you're a guy that tries to figure this stuff out.
Yeah, I was watching his hands the whole time.
And how did it work? Can you explain the trick or not?
He lost me when he used his spit to make the wax get closer together.
Then you freaked out.
Yeah.
At that point, you wanted nothing to do with it.
You got a hygiene thing. By the way, Luke Jones is here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Luke's in the house.
You can't cheer for yourself.
I was just.
I'll cheer for Luke.
I was trying to.
But when they say
going,
Luke Jones here, he's like, yeah.
You were saying in the last segment, everyone was kind of dead, a little quiet.
I didn't say that.
Or he said it.
Said
that. Sorry about that.
Yeah. We're coming back to life. We're good.
Well, everyone's eating their wings.
They're eating.
Yeah.
So the best magic trick I've ever seen, I had David Copperfield on the show in 01.
David Copperfield?
The real one. He came on the show.
Fibbing?
No, he came. I have pictures. He came on the show the week we won the Super Bowl. Okay. Well, I could have faked it because he could have made himself disappear in a picture. Right? He made Manhattan disappear, right? So I went to see Copperfield at the Modell Lyric Performing Arts Center. Okay, and this is about 10 years ago. I took my son. It had to be longer, 10 years, because I wasn't married to my wife yet. So probably about 12 years ago. Took my wife down to Copperfield. And he does his thing. You know, everything's amazing. You know, shooting bullets through glass and this and that. And I mean,
it's beyond.
A gun? Probably a fake gun. I don't know. I mean, it was David Copperfield. So at the end of the show, he brings up. There's
Don't interrupt the story.
There's a ring, like a boxing ring or like a wrestling ring on the stage.
Okay.
And he had balls, giant.
Big balls?
He had huge balls. Beach balls. There's an AC/DC song in there somewhere. So he had these beach balls, and he knocked them around the audience, and people are banging them like...
just putting his balls in the audience.
He put his balls in the air, correct. Just like the ball was in the air for you in Cincinnati. We'll get the football in a minute, because I'm not going to let you get out of here without saying something inflammatory. If you don't, I will. So the balls go everywhere, and they're different sizes, and he said when the music stops, hold the ball. So there's like 40 people in the stands.
Just holding balls.
Holding balls. Everybody with a ball, he said, come up to the stage and bring the ball with you. So they come up the stage, little balls, big balls. They were all like beach balls. Black balls, white balls.
Balls in hand. Yeah.
Asian balls, sweaty balls, all sorts of balls. Blue balls. There were a lot of balls. So everybody brings the balls up on stage, and he has them all stand in the ring. And he had a curtain around it that was translucent. You could see people through it. And this is the end of the show. 30 complete strangers get up into the middle on the stage,
with
and with big balls. They got rid of the balls. The balls are good. You're obsessed with big balls. It's clear. So he takes the curtain, and he, count of 3. The curtain falls, and everyone's gone. He walks to the front of the stage and says, "That is how quickly your loved ones can disappear. Good night."
Oh.
Walks off the stage, and the show's over.
Dropped the mic on them.
That could have been my wife on the stage. I don't know how the people on the stage ever found their family members after. That's how he made you go home. He made you go home.
Man, I need just
that was crazy magic.
I think this offseason I'm gonna start going to some
magic school.
Magic shows.
You really enjoyed the magic. He gave you a little optical illusion with a donkey and a blue monkey here. It was pretty good.
Listen, bro. This ain't your stuff, man.
He's got real
territorial with the magic
thing, right?
Yeah, it's mine. You may start looking at him and say, "Hey,
don't touch his wings, man." Whatever you do.
Then this is why I don't want you to mess with it, because then you'll see that I have more than one, and then I show that I'm selfish. But anyway,
can I have one of them?
See, you put me on the spot with all these people.
So you didn't say the magic word.
Please. May I have one?
Yeah. See. But now I have to say yeah because everybody's looking. But if I took it earlier, I'd be like, no. I'm like,
it's all right. You can be mean to me. It's
Well,
fine.
Here you go.
I'm mean to Luke.
I'm doing it out of pity. Here you go.
There you go.
There you go.
I'll give it back to you after the show.
See, we think you're generous. All right, I want to talk football with you.
What
We've been
happened?
talking well, I don't know what happened. Here's what happens when a play of that magnitude happens on Sunday. Luke and I, you think you got it bad. We got to sit and talk about it all day Monday.
And I felt crappy.
And
I felt like I let the team down.
Really?
I did.
Why?
Because
Are you guilty or are you not? Did you push off or did you not?
I ain't guilty.
No, all right. Well, then how'd you let the team down if you didn't do the wrong thing?
Well, you interrupted me.
Okay, go ahead.
I let the team down because they called a penalty on me. Whether I did it or not, the penalty was on me. Since I'm the only guy out there with 89 senior on there, that kind of falls on me. It's kind of like you get, whether you did it or not, whether you did it or didn't do it, I put myself in a position to
get the call.
To get the call. So I kind of felt bad. I was like, man, I went from yes to
When did you realize? Like, did you know as you were running that maybe there was a flag?
No,
maybe there was some. You don't think like that?
No, I don't think like that. You don't dump somebody and wonder. Hey, I wonder if they saw that. Man, if you're gonna hit and run, you just hit and run.
Was there some acting on his part? A lot of people have called it a flop.
See, here's the thing I look at. So we went back and slow-moed it. And first of all, I was kind of irritated because now, I don't even know what year he's in. But see, he's talking about first I can't out-jump him. Right. And I couldn't outrun him and all that stuff. Well, I'm a 14-year vet, and I got almost 13,000 yards. Bro, I will out-jump you. But anyway, he's number 43. Who gets 43 as a safety?
Polamalu.
Troy Polamalu.
Troy is Polamalu. There's a big difference between Polamalu and who's the other guy? What's his first name? George?
Yeah, George.
Exactly. That's my whole point. Troy Polamalu made 43 good.
Right.
This other guy, he's just 43.
Right.
So we were rewinding it, so it's slow-moed it. At the time, he puts his hands out, I put my hands out. You saw that. His left foot, when I go to slap his hands down, or as Wilson said, the chubby guy Aaron Wilson, I think.
Yeah.
He goes, I threw his jersey, I grabbed him by his jersey and threw him down to the ground. His left foot, actually, he kind of rolls up, and so he falls. So he didn't really flop. It was technically, he had on Nikes. I wear Under Armour, and so he just didn't have really better footing than me.
So you think it was the insoles?
I just think
Dr. Scholes would have saved him, you think?
Turned that into a pretty good commercial just now.
I just think his genetic disposition and my genetic gene pool is just more superior. So that's what happened. That's the story I'm going with.
Clearly, I mean, you've told the story, Steve. So for you, when you, what do you consider to be when they coach you?
Well, here's the thing: I don't consider pass interference. This is why. Earlier in the game, I asked the ref, and I said, "Hey, there's a play where Terrence Newman was all over me on a hitch coming back towards sideline." And I said, "Ref, do you not see that?" He was like, "Yeah, I thought you guys were a little close." It's like, really? We were close because he was holding me. I'm like, I'm generally not that close to a guy, you know. So, I mean, I just think overall, I think there's been a more consistent or non-consistent of calls. I thought that game near the end seemed very inconsistent of the Florida game. Pretty much the Florida game, they weren't really calling much of anything.
That's correct.
And then at the end of the game, when a game's like that, when there's a jump ball like that, I'm sorry. It's not, oh, sorry, after you. You know, would you like me to get that or do you want to get that?
Right.
It's like, man, Joe throws it out there and I'm running. It's like, what, so many seconds left. Man, you just going to go for the ball. And that's what we're taught, you know. That's how you're going to go for the ball.
Well, I know in the NBA they talk so much about hand checking, you know, and the word was if you extend your arm, then that's pass interference. That if you keep your arms in, I did notice on that. And I've only watched it a couple times, and I haven't super slowed it the way you have. He kind of like. When he got next to you, he kind of put his arms down a little bit as to not extend his arm. Well, he went out of his way to sort of alligator arm a little bit.
Well, the thing is he didn't know where the ball was.
Okay.
And so when he turned to look simultaneously, I didn't. If you notice, I always flash my hands late because generally a DB's taught when the guy hands comes up,
the ball's
coming.
Right. Sure.
So I was doing like that. So when he went there. I kind of went like to go to beat him to the punch. That's basically what I tried to do. And hey, I got caught.
Are you shocked it was called, like in retrospect, or do you get?
Well, then I would look at the replay and the ref he underhanded it. He threw it. He was like, mother sucker.
Right.
So.
Well, he was probably happy he got the call.
He was ecstatic.
Yes. All right, on to Pittsburgh. I think
things happen.
Are we sufficient with the explanation of Steve Smith?
I mean, that's what happened. You don't ask them that's what happened.
All right. I got your side of the story. Because in Cincinnati, I came in the locker room after the game.
You missed it, bro. That's your fault. I was done. ESPN guy kind of ticked me off.
Why?
Well, he asked me, and I was just sitting there, and I was really exhausted. And I was like, no, I'm not upset, not disappointed, just exhausted. And I look forward to the opportunity to play next week.
Right.
That's how I really felt. I was trying to have a great perspective. Like, look, there could have been worse. I could have got injured. I mean, some of my teammates last week, Jimmy got hurt. Some of these
five guys walk off the field.
Exactly. And I was able to walk off great, healthy. So I was like, and so he kind of stops and he goes, really, Steve? I'm like, what do you mean, really? That's the best I got.
I don't know what fans expect you to say after that,
that
you got screwed or that. And to some degree, you've played this game a long time. For the officials, it's difficult because it's a completely subjective thing that they have to make a call right then and there.
Correct.
And if the guy does sell the flop well, if they did see a little bit of the jersey get pulled a little bit, they are compelled to call it. There is the whole home field thing. Having watched it a couple times, I'm not shocked they called it, but I think it was inconsistent. I would agree with you because the game was more physical than that.
Yes. I just think at the last play, with a game like that, near the end, I think there's an expectation where you just kind of let the boys play.
Sure. And that's a fair.
That would be like, in my opinion, that would have been like them calling a penalty on that last play in the Super Bowl with the Ravens and 49ers. It's like, look, they're trying to score. That's one of those, you don't want it to be like that. You know what I mean? Because it's had such a huge impact.
But you also don't want guys mugging each other and playing free-for-all in the last 2 minutes of a game.
I would agree, but there's times where I've watched the game and it looks like free-fall. It's been some things where I've had a guy tell me, well, I know he was grabbing you, but the quarterback wasn't going to throw it to you. And I was like, really? If he wasn't grabbing me, I would have been open. He would have threw me the ball. But since he's grabbing me, now I look covered, so now that's why he didn't throw me the ball.
So you can grab away from the ball, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, what? I had a guy tell me he didn't grab you enough.
Right, okay.
I just looked at him.
Yeah, there's only three of us running around out here in patterns. I mean,
I just walked away.
Right.
I didn't know what else to say. I was like, really? He didn't grab me enough? I was like, I just walked away.
You should say, remember that next time I'm grabbing him.
I just walked away.
Is there any advantage, as you see it playing the game? Are there times where you wish, well, if I were a cornerback, I could get away with that. As a wide receiver, I can't, or is it the other way around? I feel like generally the defender's at a tremendous disadvantage because
that's not my problem.
Okay.
I don't really
but
care
you
about
would
that.
never want to be a corner. You like being a wide receiver?
I like playing corner. I played corner in college a little bit. I just enjoy playing. I enjoy running away from people. I enjoy hitting people.
Okay.
Consistently. Like not touching the ball.
Okay. Good enough.
Fair enough.
Luke, you got anything? Any follows here? Because he likes you. He'll answer your question.
I was going to ask.
I like to antagonize him.
I was going to ask one last question about that. If it had been flipped, and I'm not saying that you pushed him, pulled him, anything like that, but if what the perception was of what you did to him, if it was flipped and he did that to you and you fell to the ground, would you been expecting a call there?
I wouldn't have fell to the ground.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's the last play
I
of the
figured
game.
you'd say that.
I wasn't.
Fair enough.
I mean, you can't. I don't really. Great example is on the slant, on the pick. I'm fighting him off. Mm-hmm. No call. He looked at me like, I didn't exist. So I mean, I don't really look for a ref to help me out.
Fair enough.
I don't.